All right. Hi, Megan. Thanks for joining me today. This
Hi,
is a
Mary.
this is a fantastic opportunity for us to showcase the robust email security program in place at Zebra today, and then also discuss how our partnership has continued to evolve as Zebra has expanded your footprint in other Cofense products. So specifically, you and I work on the phishing simulation program using Cofense PhishMe, but there's also a larger partnership in place, right, with your security team. And they're working on those real threats that are identified through triage. And then we use this information to sort of drive in some awareness by mirroring these attacks in your phishing simulation program. And then also, you work with your corporate communications team to get out awareness newsletters. So, taking it a little step further, Zebra also leverages integrations with Cofense Intelligence, and then you and I use those advanced threat alerts to also leverage them for your phishing simulations, right? To make sure that we're mimicking real world threats. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and set the stage. So, question one: what factors contributed to the decision for your business to seek additional email security solutions from Cofense?
Great question. I feel like overall, I just want to say the threat landscape, we know it. We see it every day. It's continuously growing. So that's always top of mind. And with such a landscape looking as scary as it does most days, it's important for us to layer our defenses. You can never have too much security. That's what I always try to tell people. It's always helping us. It's really never hurting us. And we were really seeking concentrated tools and kind of like you said, where we can partner with, what I'm doing in the awareness program and, how I can also help my security operations center, what we call SOC. They have a 24/7 job that's constantly, looking at the threat landscape, and I have the 24/7 job to, make sure their lives are not as hard. And so, just layering all of our defenses, seeing the various tools that Cofense provides. As we obviously have all kinds of email security and things like that, it's always what is Cofense doing for us, and there's so many different layers that have protected us, from general awareness to actually stopping things and seeing, things in intelligence, warning our teams, before even something gets into the hands of, an end user or something along those lines. So really layering those defenses, looking at the full spectrum of, what you all offer, how that helps me in the awareness program, how that helps our stock overall, and just, the threat hunting overall. It's been nice to have the different tools in place, and it's kind of a team effort in that sense, as it should be, right?
Right.
Additionally, we do have professional services, which I can't rave enough about, honestly. Professional services does so much for me. Obviously, our coordination together has expanded this program in the 3.5 years that I've had it, and it's just gone completely above and beyond what it was. And that's 100% with the help of professional services, the content you all provide. You talked a little bit about intelligence and how we leverage that in our conversations, and also how we leverage it with awareness campaigns in general. And letting ELT know that, hey, everyone's getting text messages from you guys. It's everyone's seeing it in intelligence. We're not the only company that's getting these types of attacks. So all around, we needed end-to-end coverage, and the way that I can integrate my, program with the SOC, and combine our efforts, and make it an easier threat landscape for us, right? As much as possible. It's been nice to be able to do that in all facets.
Awesome. Thanks, Megan. Okay, Megan, speaking of your email security program, let's discuss how the program has expanded over this past year alone.
Yeah, it has shown so much growth in the last year. I've mentioned it's been my baby and grown a tremendous amount with Cofense's help in the last 3 years. But I think really in this last year, we saw a lot of growth. Um, you know, I think one of the big pieces that I really enjoyed about implementing this year was our recognition program. How we congratulate our users and how we show them that we are very, very appreciative that they are supporting security and doing the right things and reporting these phishing emails. To put that recognition program in place was such a game changer for me, because I know that our end users feel that support and feel that appreciativeness come from our team. And what's been nice about the recognition was it was already built from Cofense. You know, and that's a lot of the content that I use from you guys. And I'll jump into that in a minute. But with recognition, I think it's so important in awareness programs in general. It's not a punitive program, especially here at Zebra. We like to recognize when we're doing things right. And if we are having some happy clickers, which I'll talk about them in a moment, we also provide that type of analysis and information to them too. But I think recognizing your users is such an important thing, and a big growth piece for us this year. We have over 40% of the entire zebra population reporting now, and I'd like to say that that's part of the recognition program, and how we've also kind of integrated that into our internal employee recognition program. So kind of those internal points and recognitions from different teams. We've made one specifically for security. Thank you for securing our future here, as we say at Zebra. And I think that has been a really good piece for our program this year. Overall, content in that recognition email built by you all is just a piece of the great content you all provide. I think another thing I've really enjoyed implementing this year was coming from the content team, right? Was in case you missed it, follow-up education. After every campaign, we follow
Right.
up with our failed users, or our happy clickers, as we call them, and we give them that education. And to see how that education has just, grown so much and developed into such a great kind of interactive piece for users. It's like, oh, I failed the phishing test, but look how easily I can learn about it and how interactive this is and the gamification of it all. I almost get just as excited picking our education pages as I do our actual campaigns, and how we can teach and follow up with that. And the way that Cofense has just grown that into that really quick, very interactive micro learning just in that moment has been a really big piece for our program this year as well. Um, especially as we've enhanced our complexity, with that, you need to enhance education. And so,
Right.
it's just all been kind of falling perfectly into place. We're getting better at reporting. We're getting lower susceptibility. We had a 29% decrease, even though we started using these very complex scenarios. But
Right.
again, that's how where intelligence comes into play too, and in professional services, and us looking and saying, this is a really, really crazy fish that's going on out there. It's being seen in every seg you can possibly imagine, and being able to kind of recreate that for our users, or either provide education on it, which has been really, really great. Content has been coming out like crazy from you guys. So as soon as that is, out there, I am utilizing it in our zebra field too. With our branding and things like that, we've gotten really advanced and getting Z Protect out there, securing our future, securing our herd. So a lot of great improvements this year, and I'll throw in one quick statistic for everybody. We did see a 10% increase in reporting overall from last year to this year, and we still got a couple tests to go this year, but to see that improvement overall is just wonderful for me as the program coordinator, and also
Right.
just seeing how our zebras are educating themselves from the content of Cofins.
Agreed. Yeah, I think it shows exponentially too, Megan, just because what we've seen lately coming out from what you're doing, in addition to all of the content that you're using, you're doing those Fish Fridays, right?
Yeah.
And then you're also utilizing that, all that stuff during Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So
Yeah,
kudos to you.
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. And I can touch on that a little bit really quickly.
Sure.
That is something in our program we created last year. it started as fish for lunch, and I had about 15 people locked in a room with me having lunch, and thank goodness it was an actual fish. It was an enjoyable lunch, but we did end up moving it to a more frequent cadence called Fish Fridays, and we have a Fish Friday every Friday in October, Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And I love it because I get to utilize cool videos that you guys have created with Sid and those real life scenarios. And we actually kind of created a binge series last year, right? And every
Right.
Friday we had a video on what was going on, and we got a lot of really great feedback on that. And it's just a fun and engaging way to get people aware. So Fish Fridays, highly recommend. Everybody loves to do something fun on Friday, so make it fun and engaging. And Cofense, you all provide so many great things to be able to do that. I'm excited for our Fish Friday coming up here, of course, as we kick off our Privacy and Security Summit in October. We're going to focus a lot on SMS phishing and the content that Cofense has come out with and Amanda has provided to me in the ways that we're going to get people engaged and alert about these, new types of threats that are really, really coming in hard. I'm so excited to kind of just continue to utilize that in our Fish Friday programs. And one thing I also didn't get to mention that we really implemented this year, and with the amazing help of Amanda, is our fish camp. I want to touch on that super quickly. It's so important. Highly recommend it for other programs as well. I touched a little bit on our Happy Clickers group. I think every organization has some Happy
Right.
Clickers, right? Some that, either they have the ideation that IT is magic and will stop it all and and
Yep.
be just fine. It's a various ideas on that, but I think it's been really, really exciting to kind of take those happy cloakers and in a positive way say, hey, we saw that you needed, a little bit more education in this. So let's go to fish camp, and we make it fun and we make it engaging. And, there's a little canoe with with their fishing pole in the emails. And it has just been so great for that crew, that community of our happy clickers. And
Right.
we've seen a lot of growth with them as well, which as awareness coordinators we struggle with that. And so to have a direct solution that's fun and engaging and actually making change has been really, really, really cool.
Fantastic. So, Megan, how does Cofense help your company address those threats that are still arriving in your employees' inboxes today?
Yeah. So a lot of different ways. I'll say, the segs are great, but we all see through vision and things that things get through the cracks, and that's where we really fall heavily dependent on our users. And a part of that is how aware and educated are they. So, everything that comes from my program and the partnership with Cofense is their awareness and their education. We even utilize Cofense in a lot of our core compliance programs. But, kind of back to the subject of this question. I think the reporter button, first and foremost, is so essential to every program. That easily accessible button, whether you're, on your desktop like we are here, whether you're on your mobile device, checking emails before your flight or your kid's baseball game, something along those lines. There is the capability to report it in all facets. And I think that that's so essential for everyone to be able to have that easily accessible. Let me send this email. I'm not sure, and that's really our message here too at Zebra is if you're not sure, report it out. We'll tell you, and that's where
Right.
another piece comes in. Because to be honest, obviously, emails do slip through segs. I think that's in every single organization. And so, like I said, we're dependent on the users. So once they hit that button, another great Cofins piece has been triage for us. And I won't, get into the nitty gritty details of how my SOC utilizes that and the great things that it's done for them, but I will say that it has, and they're very happy with that tool. But I think what I love the most about triage is I've been able to go in and create, custom messaging. So when someone has gotten a suspicious email, they've reported it to our SOC team. we've got the capability to send them a message directly back that says, hey, this is not safe. Do not interact with this, and then take further steps to either do, malware
Right.
scans or password updates, etc. But I've heard so much great feedback from users just saying, thank you for letting me know. Sometimes we hit the button and we have no idea whether it was suspicious or just some spam. And so having that extra tool in there to communicate with users, I feel like I said, they're our main line of defense. And so the more that they know that they're being, recognized and respected, and also kind of, just pulling out these potential phishing threats for us that can slip through the cracks. It's so important. But triage being able to get that real-time messaging back to people this year has been amazing. And I love it. We've thrown our Zebra templates on everything. And so they know it's safe and it's coming from us, and they know exactly which steps to take next, which has been really nice for those, that do slip through the cracks. And another one that I think is so hard for SEGs to catch is BEC, business email
Right.
compromise, right? And gosh, I know a lot of organizations have seen that too, and the social engineering pieces to it. And it's just such a such a popular thing, as unfortunate as it is. But what's been great is, our partnership with executive leaders at Zebra, and how we've said, we're going to go tell our end users that if they get a message or a text or an email from you asking them to do something that is either high risk or very suspicious, we've asked them to reach out to you in another form of communication. And across the board, our executive leadership has said, absolutely, reach out to us. We're we're happy to tell you that we're not asking you for gift cards. So that kind of partnership and user engagement has been really nice for tackling those BEC moments. It's provided that comfort, right? If yes, a CEO or a CFO or a chief legal officer has sent me an email and asked me to do something, which, of course, as we know, hackers play on our emotions, especially as employees. And so, my thing is always in sessions. I'm panicked. I'm getting this message from my CEO. I need to absolutely act on this. What's been great is, we've had partnership with them to say, that's not the case. Slow it down, confirm through another form of communication, and confirm those requests. And it's been really nice to have the balance on both sides of that, and support on both sides of that.
I was going to say, Megan, I think you touched on two really great points here. One is having that reporter recognition back, right? So being able to identify that, I think that plays a huge role into your increased reporting metrics this past year, right? Because they know that someone is watching and someone is communicating back to them.
Yeah.
And then the other piece that you touched on too, kind of like that, when in doubt, click the trout. Right. I
Yes,
love that tagline because
absolutely.
I think you have triage in your environment today. It's going to cut through all of that noise. So if something comes in and it is spam, your SOC team's not going to be worried about it. They're looking at the clusters that are really important for them to focus on.
Yeah.
But the other side of that is that partnership you guys have with leadership. I think organizations today, if you don't get that buy-in from leadership, it makes it really hard to manage your program side of things, right? To expand it and mature it. So I'm really happy to see that you guys have that today in your environment.
Yeah, absolutely. Could not ask for better leadership and support with security awareness.
Awesome. So Megan, to conclude, what is one piece of advice you would give other security leaders that are attending today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think first and foremost, get you an Amanda, Amanda Beeson. She is absolutely essential to my program and the professional services that she offers. But in all seriousness, I think my biggest tip is to stay personable with your end users. Let them know that you care. We do this in a few different ways. Personally, I like to go beyond security of Zebra and the business, but protecting our people. And so, like I said, we do touch on this in random newsletters and awareness articles on, for example, Amazon Prime Day. I'll go see an intelligence. There's all kinds of crazy things going on with Amazon Prime Day. And then we're able to go and put that content out there that Cofense has created around the awareness for it, and what to look out for on that day. And so, just going a little bit more into the personable side of things and letting them know that, we're here to protect each other. I think that that's really essential to a program, and we do that throughout the year, and then we really focus on it during Cybersecurity Awareness Month and in our Privacy and Security Summit that we host every year. We have Protecting Family and Friends Online, where we host an entire session with helpful resources and tips and guidance to help protect our families and our kids and things that are all over the internet, because that's the way things are these days, right? Or our parents that are getting calls from the IRS or about their car warranties, right? And all of those different scams. So I think taking it that extra mile and being personable. And so, like I said, we do that in a lot of different facets. And one that we're doing new this year, and I highly encourage other program coordinators to do, is coordinate with your other IND programs. So we are doing a session during our summit this year with our ZEAL program, which is our Zebra Equality Alliance team, around the privacy and security of information, and just getting into a broader audience. Again, letting them know that security is here to support them and keep them safe. And we ask that they do that in turn for the company. So I would say definitely recognize your reporters. Get out that personal information. Let them know, it's not just all about the business; it's about them too, and protecting everyone online. We're all in this defense together, and I always say here at Zebra, you've got to do your part to secure the herd, and always, when in doubt, report the trout. So and hit that trout button. So keeping it personable, keeping everyone informed at all times. And like I said, the content that the Cofense puts out allows me to do that in a timely fashion, and get those Amazon Day, Prime Day notifications out there, and National Password Day, and all of the things that, really pull together a security awareness program. And like I mentioned, having your support and, the insights and the conversations that we have, and just growing the program together, I think overall are really key components to a successful program, and happy and safe end users.
Thank you, Megan. I can't even tell you how grateful I am for you to join me today. But then in general, the synergy of our partnership is above and beyond. I think we work really, really well together. And so I am so grateful to have you. And then not only do we learn from one another, but then we have all of these really cool ideas that we get to expand to others. And so I really value our partnership, and I can't thank you enough for joining me today.
Oh my goodness. Same here. Could not value you more, honestly. I could use four Amandas for all things in life. Yes, but thank you so much for having me, and for such a great partnership. And like you said, our synergy, our energy is what's made this program really grow. And get personable, get on the inside of things, and really make a change in the program and the way people think about security and phishing, and overall just awareness. So I really appreciate your partnership as well. And I appreciate you letting me be a part of Submerge. And I hope everyone is there having a fantastic time. I'm sure there are all kinds of great things that we'll hear more about throughout the day.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. And remember, when in doubt, click the trout.
Click the trowel, everybody.
Bye.